you, everybody. Thank you.
Do you remember I'm fat?
Thank you. All right, here we are. We're back. We're back. You Asked For It is back. I love You Asked For It.
Do you?
Yeah, you do too. I can tell.
I hate questions.
Oh, you love it. You love it. You can't get enough.
I hate questions.
All right, welcome everyone. We're back here at the Ashland Fly Shop for You Asked For It. Ready? Come on.
Oh, I have to do that?
1, 2, 3. You Asked For It with Will and Keith.
That's the new, because you made me do that, I get that new rod, right? Yes.
No, that's not how it
Well,
works.
I'm asking you. So
You're asking me? That's not how this works.
Oh, okay.
People ask us questions like they did the last day, then we answer the questions, and that's how it works. Okay, anyway, here we go. So you asked us a bunch of questions the last day. It was great. Thank you so much for participating. We've got some really good stuff to go through. We got some not very good stuff we're going to leave out, and we're gonna jump right into it.
I think the most pressing question on here is this guy.
Yeah.
What is it?
S. Erickson 50. This came off Instagram.
And it says, "Can I be a guide if I don't have a beard?" Yes, but you will be suspect. I guarantee you they'll never trust you. You have to, at least a shadow. Just don't shave for 2 days. You're good to go.
I was going to say like not in Oregon probably, but maybe some other states. As
Florida, you might get away with it in
if you go a
Florida.
little more east. Yeah, exactly. Like maybe a Florida tarpon guy.
But here they won't trust you.
Yeah. I think at least like a
2 day shadow
or
at
something,
least.
right? Yeah.
Or some smudges, some grease smudges or something on your face. Just something to do.
Yeah. So anyway, I hope that helps. Okay, let's hop into this one. Here's a good question. When a steelhead takes, this is from Kite Surfer 314, who comments a lot on our stuff, which is awesome. When a steelhead takes, what do you do? There are lots of opinions. Let him run, lift, set low to the bank, strip set, etc. Yeah. It's a big question.
Well, you're going to have to get one to strike to actually answer that question.
Yeah, I would have to actually catch a fish, which is a point of contention around here, or go fishing. Yeah, exactly. So, what's your take on that?
I think it's kind of up in the air. I kind of just let him go till I feel him, and then gently pull up.
Yeah.
I know guys that swear by going to the bank or going the opposite.
Yeah.
It's a loaded question.
I've hooked so many fish and set on fish, and I have lost so many fish doing everything that I felt was the correct thing to do, and it's so up in the air. But I would think the general rule of thumb is if you're getting grabbed, and you're swinging a fly, you want to keep that movement and stuff to a minimal there. And usually, if I am setting on a fish, it's when the fish is I'm getting kind of broadside to the fish, and I feel like I can put a little bit of pressure on it. But when I fish in BC, though, we've certainly had times when the vibe of the trip has been set because of the way they're taking. Like you want to set on the fish, so it's really something you got to kind of feel out, I think. But in general, you want to let the fish eat. Stay calm and don't trout set.
I kind of tell people just take a breath. You feel it. There you go.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't jab it, but just gently pick up. It's going to be there.
It's tough if you
it's not.
If you don't catch many fish, though, it's a challenge because it's such a crazy moment, but a moment we love to have. So, all right, Instagram. We're going to stick with Instagram. DC Sill. We're going out to the Midwest here. Dirty water steelhead fishing tips. Here in Wisconsin, spring steelheading is a bit tricky due to all the snow melt, and it usually means fishing water that's got really low visibility. Any tips will help, and he has some great stuff to say. You guys are great. Appreciate all the videos. You're awesome. Thanks, man. Appreciate the feedback. Boy, I feel more and more winter steelhead fishing in off-color water like, unless it's just a torrent, man, like you got to try it. Those fish hug the bank so much, especially even this year I've heard of some very interesting fish caught and landed in really off-color water.
Weird water.
Yeah.
Just dark flies.
Right.
Just, black shows up like a shadow.
Yeah.
Dark flies.
They really push over to the edge, those fish too. They don't want to be in that heavy stuff. They want to be right off. So, we think of winter steelhead fishing as dredging and stuff, but when you've got, that off-color water and stuff, it's like they can be just sitting right on the inside. So you really want to start short, fish all the way to the bank. That's why we fish a lot of like heavy, moderate tips with, with weightless flies, because those flies can really flutter right into the bank. So it's a good idea to fish all the way in. So.
And that would be the one time of year I'd tell you to use bigger flies.
Yeah.
For me,
Yeah.
but.
Yeah, agreed, man. Absolutely. Cool. Okay, we're gonna move on. We got some good questions from Facebook here. You wanna jump in on that one? That's a pretty good one for you.
Does Keith always have rocks in his pocket? Not always, but always when I'm fishing with him.
You're taking up the prime water.
Oh my God!
Look at
this
there.
Unbelievable.
There.
Oh my God!
Now there's no fish happening anyways.
Look,
Get out of here.
Look, I was here. We were here first.
Get.
He's always got a handful of rocks jangling around in his brain, though. I'll tell you that. He's always got a bunch of rocks up there. There's no doubt.
Thanks.
You can hear him when you put your
I
head
shake.
over like that. Yeah.
No, that's just my back.
You go to crack your back.
That's
and
my
it's like,
back moving, yeah.
Sounds like a gravel quarry. Yeah. Okay, Jan Napick, good friend of the shop, asks, is anyone making a wader walker yet? This goes to some of our aging clientele. I have seen some very hilarious wader walkers out there. I don't believe that they are licensed and in production, but I've seen some very funny wader walkers. But we have not seen one from Sims yet at this point. So we have our fingers crossed, and we're keeping an eye on this, and we'll let you know as this develops. James Millard asks us, this is a very unique question, one I haven't thought much about. So Donald Duck never wears pants. When he gets out of the shower, though, he's got a towel around his waist. What's that all about? Boy, that's a good one. He's really throwing a curveball at us there.
I think Donald Duck has been watching too much 1984.
Uh-huh.
Well, now with the laptops and the cameras on our laptops, maybe he's just worried about.
You're worried about who
the
might be
Big Brother watching.
Big Brother watching in. Yeah, that could be.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. It could be that he's wet and he's all wet, and so
maybe he's trying to keep warm.
Maybe he's trying to keep warm. I don't know. Maybe it's more of a warm thing. That one's a little bit over our heads, I think, there, James. But we'll powwow on that when you come around next time. Okay, why don't you hop into that one, Keith?
Well, I can't read it from there.
Why don't you have your glasses on? I have my glasses on.
Well, I can read this big writing. Can you? Oh, you want to?
Painting McPaint Face, which is really the best. That's the best handle I've ever heard on Instagram.
Yeah. Can UV resin lights be proprietary to their own company's resin? I don't think so. I just don't.
I don't think so either.
It's UV. It's going to cure you could set it outside. It'll take a while, but it'll cure.
I think the curing agent in UV is a pretty standard thing. And
somebody will try and bottle it, though, and try to keep it for themselves someday.
But if you mixed other stuff in, like different paints or glitter or whatever, I mean, that's unique to the brand or company. But I think the resin itself, could be powered by any light or sun or whatever.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I don't know.
Okay, moving on. This is a good one from Jim.9856. Do you like a multi-density line with a sink tip? So I think he's saying a multi-density like Skagit type line that we have new out. And with a sink tip, or a regular Skagit with 10 or 12 feet of sink tip, T10 to T14, etc. So I think what he's asking is, what are you preferring now that these multi-density lines are showing up? Are you guys really enjoying using those with sink tips, or are you still doing the floating with the? I think that the standard still is a floating Skagit with tips, but I would not be surprised to see the intermediate Skagits get in and almost become the standard over time. I think it could take a little while, but I think that could happen. What do you think?
You know, coming from a little different side of it, I fish mostly Scandi lines lately, and I've been using the 3D Scandi line to get down there. Yeah, I have a feeling that most people are going to get away from, in the wintertime, are going to get away from just using a regular Skagit. That'll be more the summertime thing, and then people are going to use the multi-density stuff.
Man.
It's easy to cast. It gets down there fast.
Yep.
You don't have to get the mass of the head to drop.
Right.
You know, it's cleaner.
They cast so nice too, those intermediate, whether it's a Game Changer or, you know, a fist line from Airflow is a Sync 3, so that might not always be appropriate. But if I can imagine fishing like an intermediate, you know, like an intermediate, and then going to like a Type 3 tip or a T8 tip or something like that, and it's kind of like, why not? I mean, Skagit is made to sink, right? I mean, we're fishing them to use sink tips.
And I kind of feel like when you're doing it, you can lighten up on your sink tip a little bit too, and get a little nicer of a cast versus throwing T14 or T17.
Yeah.
You know,
No, we're really hot on those multi-density heads. They're really, really a nice thing to add, and I think they make a lot of sense in the wintertime, but I think even in the summer with an intermediate or something, intermediate head to a sink tip is not a bad way to go. So that's a good question. Trout Affliction asks, click and pawl or disc drag for steelhead? Boy, that really puts us in our corners, doesn't it?
I've got an old cork drag, but I've got a drag on mine, but it's always set just enough that the fish can run, and I'm palming it anyways. And then on that big fish, I've got it there, but
little drag,
you know, some people like it the other way.
It's tricky. You know, I think I always kind of feel like, how important is landing that fish, right? How important is that for you? Because a click and pawl just adds another element of what is it? Uncertainty. It adds an element of uncertainty to the equation that I think is something you want to be aware of, you know, because they can pop off. I mean, they can blast out really fast and come back the other way, and you're left making up line.
With the quick click and pawl stuff, you just have to find another way to slow the fish down too. You just have to put one more thought pattern into it.
Yep. I love the click and pawls. Here's one right here. I use them. I really like them for trout spay. I use them exclusively on trout spay. But you know, when I go to British Columbia, I do use click and pawls and stuff. But you know, we're going to be chasing some pretty big fish this spring, and I'm sure I'll use a reel with a drag. You know, just so that I have that level of security on that front. So that's where I kind of fall in it when I talk to customers is, how important is that situation? Here's a good one. What color of power bait do you guys like on the upper river this time of year? We get this question quite a bit.
None. I like worms.
What color worms?
Regular earthworms.
Regular earthworms. Yeah. Nice.
That I get from your garden.
How do they cast pretty well on your spay rod?
Well, if you have to be real soft. If you push too hard, they just kind of fall apart.
They just kind of fall apart, blow in the air everywhere. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you got to watch it with the worms.
And power bait can be that way too. If you put power bait on the end of your thing there and really huck it, it'll come flying off.
It's really hard to keep on there.
It's pretty funny when the cameraman's out there and he gets, you know, power bait stuck in his face.
Yeah, you've really got to make some adjustments there for sure. Awesome.
You take some we'll use UV glue over the top.
There we go. UV over the top, glue it all down.
That's what
yeah,
we'll do.
That's fantastic. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try that.
I like it.
Thinking outside the box.
That is some outside of the box thinking for sure. We have a question from Owen. What's your least favorite fish?
Mine?
Yeah, do you have
any fish you're catching?
Any fish I'm catching?
Any fish you're catching.
That's pretty good.
And I'm not. That is my least favorite fish.
My least favorite fish would have to be one that like bites or, you know, could potentially bite me or something like that.
What fish is gonna bite you?
I don't know, like a piranha or something. Although I think piranha are super cool. Really would have to think about it to find an unfavorite fish. I'm really not totally into invasive fish species showing up in where they're not supposed to be.
That would probably be.
So that would be my least favorite fish. You know, if I'm pulling in pike minnow and stuff like that, or God forbid we see some of these fish show up in some of our
Chub.
spots. Yeah,
In
exactly.
some of our lakes around
So those would be my most unfavorite fish for sure. No, we like carp. Carp are cool. I want to fish for carp actually. Well, gosh, this has been a blast. We're coming back. You asked for it. This is a good thing. We
Start
appreciate
sending
your
us
questions. It's fantastic. Thank you so much. We got a good counterpoint thing here going. I can really make fun of Keith, just wide open here and just right straight to the world.
And now you can all see it, though. You can't deny it now.
Can't deny it now. So thanks for watching. We appreciate it. We'll be back with more. We're going to ask you for your questions. We're going to sign out now from the Ashland Fly Shop. Thanks for watching, folks. See you again with 1,
Oh, we're supposed to
2,
say it?
3. You asked for it.